See, both of these are pure garter stitch. Some of the other mitts are not pure garter stitch. They all have lots of garter stitch, but these, the Rapunzel mitts, have a 9-stitch stockinette braid, which needs to be stockinette all the way, so we cannot have garter stitch interrupting it. These also need some changes before beginning to knit. These are the rainbow mitts, and they have these 2-stitch columns of slip stitches, and they'll all need to be changed from purls to knits before we begin. Here we have my Guadalupe mitts, and we have single columns of slipped knit stitches that make this beautiful design. They too will need to be changed before we begin knitting. Here we have the Mountain Mitts. This is the Mountain Mitts here, and the Mountain Gauntlets. For both of them, they have 5 knit stitches right here that need to start out as knit, so those will have to be adjusted before we begin knitting these. And finally, we have the purple Pulsera, which has a combination of knits and purls, and the Windblown Waves, which does two very different designs, both very beautiful, and they both will need the special treatment of changing some knits to purls before we get started. Because your pattern will tell you to knit to a certain point and then to change some purls to knits. Let's look at the anatomy of the purl. That is the purl band, and that is what we call the purl stitch. So there's the band, or bump. We lift the purl bump off, and we're going to put it right there. There it is. Now take this off, which is longer. If it fell off, it's okay, because we want it off. Make sure that one's on, that was the purl bump. Take this and put it behind, and then use it as knitting yarn. Hold on to it to give it tension. Put it behind. Put that new stitch back on, and now knit it, and look at what you've got. Knits, just what we're after. You do it wherever and whenever you're asked to by the pattern. So lift the purl bump or band off. We're going to put it right there. Notice how that fell off and it's fine. Put it to the back. Hold on to it to give it tension and use it to knit that purple stitch with. Notice now we've got 2 layers of knits, or 2 generations. And now we will knit it with the yarn. So here's the routine. You lift the purl bump or band off and put it right there. You take this off if it didn't already fall off. You put it behind and hold it to give it tension, because you're going to use it to knit that. Once you've knit that, put it back on, because now it's time to knit that knit stitch. So you can see right here we have 3 knit stitches. And then depending on your pattern, it'll tell you to do those wherever they're needed. And then you will end up going back into garter stitch, because the mitts are primarily garter stitch.